Managing an organization as large and complex as the FBI requires a definitive idea of where we are now and where we hope to be in 5 years, 10 years, and 20 years. That's where our strategy comes in. The FBI strategy enables bureau leaders and managers to define and pursue objectives crucial to mission success, prioritize resources to achieve those objectives, track progress along the way, address gaps when identified, and, most importantly, deliver consistent results. The FBI strategy is periodically reviewed and adapted to align with the changing threat landscape and organizational climate.
August 19, 2024. Press release. D.C. Councilmember arrested on bribery charge. Washington. Trayon White Sr., the D.C. councilmember representing Ward 8, was arrested yesterday on a criminal complaint charging him with bribery. White, 40, is chair of the council's Committee on Recreation, Libraries and Youth Affairs, which oversees several agencies including the D.C. Department of Youth Rehabilitation Services, DYRS. The complaint alleges that, beginning in June 2024, White corruptly agreed to accept $156,000 in cash payments in exchange for using his position as a D.C. council member to pressure government employees at Office of Neighborhood Safety and Engagement, ONSE, and DYRS to extend several D.C. contracts. The contracts at issue were valued at $5.2 million and were for 2 companies to provide violence intervention services in D.C. As alleged, the $156,000 White agreed to accept in exchange for using his official position to pressure renewal of those contracts to particular companies was 3% of the total contract value. According to the complaint, White's agreement with a confidential human source, the owner of the companies, including the source's payments to White of $35,000 in cash on 4 separate occasions, June 26, July 17, July 25, and August 9, 2024, and the source showing White a document reflecting how White's 3% cut was calculated based on those contracts, was captured on video. The arrest and charge was announced by U.S. Attorney for the District of Columbia Matthew M. Graves, FBI Special Agent in Charge David J. Scott of the Washington Field Office Criminal and Cyber Division, D.C. Inspector General Daniel Lucas, and Executive Special Agent in Charge Kareem A. Carter of the Internal Revenue Service. Criminal Investigation, IRSCI, Washington, D.C. Field Office. Because the investigation into the alleged bribery scheme involved contracts that could soon be awarded and other potential official acts that could be taken, our office took swift steps to address the alleged crimes we were investigating, said U.S. Attorney Graves. This ongoing investigation is being handled by the U.S. Attorney's Office for the District of Columbia, the FBI Washington Field Office, the D.C. Office of the Inspector General, and the IRS Criminal Investigation Washington Field Office. A criminal complaint is merely an allegation and all defendants are presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt in a court of law. August 15, 2024. From the FBI Files. Registered sex offender sentenced to 15 years in prison for attempted enticement of a minor. Peoria, Illinois. Pekin, Illinois. Man, Kenneth W. Holobaugh, 43, was sentenced on August 14, 2024, to 15 years in federal prison for attempted enticement of a minor. He was also ordered to serve a 15-year term of supervised release upon completion of his term of confinement. At the sentencing hearing before U.S. District Judge Joe B. McDade, the government established that from April 2023 through January 2024, Holobaugh, a registered sex offender, communicated on an internet-based social media platform with an individual he believed to be a 13-year-old female, expressing multiple times that he wanted to engage in sex with her. In January 2024, Holobaugh drove to a location in Peoria to meet with the girl for the purpose of having sex. Federal law enforcement agents arrested him when he arrived at the location. Holobaugh was indicted by a federal grand jury in February 2024 and entered a guilty plea in April 2024. The statutory penalties for attempted enticement of a minor are a minimum of 10 years to life imprisonment, followed by a minimum 5-year to maximum life term of supervised release. Holobaugh has been in the custody of the U.S. Marshals Service since his arrest, pending the resolution of the case. He was previously convicted of aggravated criminal sexual abuse in July 2001 and is required to register as a sex offender for the remainder of his life. The case investigation was conducted by the Federal Bureau of Investigation, Springfield Field Office. Assistant U.S. Attorneys Melissa P. Ortiz and Ronald L. Hanna represented the government in the prosecution. The case against Holobaugh was brought as part of Project Safe Childhood, a nationwide initiative by the Department of Justice to combat the epidemic of child sexual exploitation and abuse, led by U.S. Attorneys' offices and the Criminal Division's Child Exploitation and Obscenity Section, CEOS. Project Safe Childhood marshals federal, state, and local resources to better locate, apprehend, and prosecute individuals who exploit children via the Internet, as well as to identify and rescue victims. For more information about Project Safe Childhood, please visit www.projectsafechildhood.gov. August 16, 2024. Press release. Buffalo man arrested on multiple child pornography charges. Buffalo, New York. U.S. Attorney Trini E. Ross announced today that Sean Braven, 37, of Buffalo, New York, was arrested and charged by criminal complaint with receipt, distribution, and possession of child pornography, which carry a mandatory minimum penalty of 5 years in prison and a maximum of 20 years. Assistant U.S. Attorney Aaron J. Mango, who is handling the case, stated that on July 26 and August 17, 2018, an undercover law enforcement officer identified an IP address that had made available suspected child pornography on a peer-to-peer file sharing network. The officer downloaded 8 files which constitute child pornography. Subsequent investigation determined that the IP address belonged to Braven. In October 2018, a search warrant was executed at Braven's residence, during which investigators seized several items, including a computer. A forensic review of the computer recovered more than 420 image files and 540 video files containing child pornography, some of which included depictions of violence against children. Braven made an appearance before U.S. Magistrate Judge Michael J. Romer and was released on conditions. The complaint is the result of an investigation by the Federal Bureau of Investigation, under the direction of Special Agent in Charge Matthew Miraglia. The Town of Tonawanda Police Department, under the direction of Chief James Stoffiger, and the U.S. Marshals Service Fugitive Task Force, under the direction of Marshal Charles Salina. The fact that a defendant has been charged with a crime is merely an accusation and the defendant is presumed innocent until and unless proven guilty.
Equality before the law, also known as equality under the law. Equality in the eyes of the law, legal equality, or legal egalitarianism, is the principle that all people must be equally protected by the law. The rule of law is a political ideal that all citizens and institutions within a country, state, or community are accountable to the same laws, including lawmakers and leaders. It is sometimes stated simply as no one is above the law.